Okay, yeah. So today we are going to start. Yes, today we are going to start a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is this is basically your prose part here. Okay, as you know, your English literature textbook is divided into like short story, play, right? And yes, short story, play, and everything. So prose we have, this is chapter number 3, lesson 3. Okay, state of the gutters. And this is written by Professor Neerja Mattu.
And your voice
Okay,
is not clear.
as you can read, yes, as you can read by the name, she is a Kashmiri writer. Okay, and she is known for her translation work. She has translated a lot of work from Kashmiri to English language. Okay, I am muting everyone for a while so that I can start the chapter. So I have everyone. Yeah, I can see only 59 are there. So all in all, 57 have logged in. I'll wait for 2-3 minutes more. Okay. So basically, this chapter, okay. Yeah, I want to share a picture here. Yeah, I want to share a picture here. This is about your chapter on page number 19, everyone. Those who are not having a textbook, I am showing here the picture. Okay, those who are not having, this is for them. Saint of the
Yes.
Gutters. Okay, 3. Yeah, chapter number 3. Fine. Saint of the Gutters. And this is written by Professor Nirja Mattu. Now, let me tell you one thing that Professor Nirja Mattu was born month of August, okay, 1938. And she is still alive. She is not dead. And she is working as editor in chief, okay, in a quarterly journal, Miras. Yeah, I will just write it down here. Okay, Paul. August 1938, still alive, presently working as editor in chief in a quarterly journal, Miras. Okay, in Miras. Miras, okay. In Miras, that is a quarterly journal. Fine, and she is famous for her translation work. She's basically a professor, right? And she is known for the most of the Kashmiri work she has translated, okay, into English language. Yeah, wait. Maybe my voice becomes clear. Now is my voice clear? Is my voice clear now? Not now. Okay, I have to just check the connection here a little bit. Yeah. Am I clear now? Is it clear now? Okay, fine. Okay. So as you all can see here, see the reading portion you have to done. Okay, you have to do it. So you have to do it in yourself. I will be telling you the most important highlights of this chapter. Now here the scent of the gutters is being called to Mother Teresa. Okay, and why she is known as Saint of the Gutters, this you will come to know only when we will read about this chapter. Okay, don't worry, bache. I will be showing you most of the pictures here. So if my voice is also not clear, you will be able to see it. Okay, you will be able to see it. Don't worry. Okay, so I'll start with this one here. Okay, this is the introduction part. All can see, I guess. Is it visible? Yeah. Bhumika, two blossoms is coming in your exam. We have done two blossoms, not the beauty, okay? Okay. So two blossoms is coming in exam. Fine. I hope I have cleared myself now. Right? Two blossoms. Not beauty. I'm just writing it here. Bhumika, that was a mistake which was made by another teacher. So it's fine, no problem. Okay, two blocks we have done. Fine. Yeah. So introduction part, I'm going to out read it. Okay. And the chapter you have to read it. बच्चे ये आपको खुद से पढ़ना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. And the important points which it's mentioned there, I'm going to read out here. Okay. So, Saint of the Gutters is an inspirational biography. Okay, this is your biographical lesson. Okay, and very interesting one as well. Fine, you will be very interested to know more about the facts. The facts about you will come to know about facts about Mother Teresa. Okay. So Saint of Gutters is an inspirational biography. Professor N. Matu, professor was born in 1938. Okay, born in 1938 in Srinagar. She is an eminent academic writer, translator, and an author of Kashmiri short stories in English. Okay, this I'm highlighting it here. Academic writer as well, translator. Okay, most importantly, this you have to get it that she is a translator. Okay, and the author of Kashmiri short stories in English. The Saint of the Gutters is about a great lady, namely Mother Teresa, and her magnificent commitment to the improvement of poor people, the needy, and the penniless. This is the most important thing you have to know about Mother Teresa, that her magnificent commitment, she has given her entire life serving whom? Serving the poorest of the poor, the destitute one, the needy one, and the penniless, and especially those people who were forgotten by the society or who were denied by the society. You can say that. And she was there to help them. I hope my voice is clear and you are able to understand. Okay, so here the Saint of the Gutters is about Mother Teresa. Fine. Spelling it's here. Please just see the spelling here. Fine. Yeah. And the next, I'll show you one more picture here. Next, we will read about little bit of Mother Teresa as a towering figure. Okay. Mother Teresa is one of the best identities of 20th century. 20th century, she was known to each and every person, okay, and she was praised by everyone. She has received the Nobel Prize also, okay. She was honored. It is written in your textbook there that she was honored, okay. She was awarded the highest honors, okay, and that is the Nobel Peace Prize, okay. She had no political power. She had no political power or material possession. Yet she ruled over the hearts and the minds of countless numbers of people all over the world. She has ruled because people were fond of her. People really liked her. People really felt that she is doing such a great job. And most importantly, she does not belong to any political power or was not having any material possession of her own that she was giving to others. Okay, she was just like a very dedicated person without any favors, without any fruit of or anything from them, okay, in return from them. She was just serving them. She was awarded with the highest honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, she was awarded the highest honors, including the Nobel Peace Prize. This you need to very much understand. Okay, she had devoted her life to the life of destitute and in the humble submission to God. Now, whenever you are framing your answers, let's say this one sentence you need to write there, that she devoted her life to the life of destitute and in the humble submission to God. This you have to write, that all the time what she was doing, either she was praying to God for the strength she required, and the time, the most of the time, the most of his, sorry, most of her life she has served the destitute one. Destitute means poorest of the poor, okay. The poorest of the poor means the destitute one. Fine. People from all walks of life flocked to her to become a part of her mission to give real meaning to their lives. Now, people from all over the world, whether rich one or the political party or everyone, wanted to associate with her. Okay, does not want her to include in their parties or whatever. Fine, but to join her. How to join? Just serving the people, because they knew it that she is doing such a wonderful work, okay, and she needs to be appreciated, she needs to be praised, and moreover she needs to be helped by serving them, okay. So whatever the followers were of the Mother Teresa, they also joined her, okay, and they also started serving the people, those who were suffering from a lot of problems, the financial problems, the destitute one, or suffering from the diseases which none was, and which was not even bothered by their family members. She used to take care of them. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Am I audible to all of you? Okay, fine. Thank you. Now let's move to the other one. One more I have to show you here. See, this is everything the in a very you can say a very short manner. I have mentioned everything here. Okay, everything I have mentioned in these slides, very short details I have used here. Rest you have to do the reading portion, which is very much important at your homes. Fine. Okay, written now. Now, empty here I have used for Mother Teresa. Now, she was born on August 26. Fine, it's written there. 26 August 1910 in Skopje. Now, how to pronounce this word? This is Skopje. Okay, Skopje, Albania. Skopje, Albania. Her name was her real name. Mother Teresa was given her name by the persons who was serving, okay, who was being served by her. Otherwise, her real name was Agnes Gonsha Bozaccio. How to pronounce? Agnes Gonsha Bozaccio. I hope it's clear to you. You can even Google out for the pronunciation. Agnes Gonsha Bozaccio. Fine. She was born on 26 August 1910 in Skopje, Albania. Her father died at her early age and she was looked after by her mother who knew sewing and needlecraft. Fine. She was looked after by her mother as her father died at a very early age. Mother Teresa was raised in Roman Catholic convention. Okay, you can say like the church or the like we are having the convents one. Fine. In the Roman Catholic convention, from her early age, she invested time in church. She used to decorate the church with flowers and banners of festivals. She would enjoy the tales of Christian missionaries going to different parts of the world. Now, this concept was not at all new for Mother Teresa, for Agnes, that there are a lot of nuns and the fathers, or the I should say the missionaries, okay, those who go to different parts of the world and serve to the needy one. Okay, this serve to the needy one. This concept was not new for Mother Teresa, so that's why she used to enjoy. Okay, she enjoy a lot of tales from those Christian missionaries, those who are going to different parts of the world, and she get influenced by them that how they are doing it. Okay, from what source they are doing it. Fine. And she has invested her most of the time in church. Okay, and she used to what she used to do at her early age, she used to decorate the church with flowers and the banners of festivals. I hope it's clear to you. Now this is the making, I'm just have written the heading here to make you understand about the slides. Okay, let's move to the other one. So with this we have, I guess, yes, this we have done. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Now Mother Teresa as a missionary, that how she became one of them. Okay, how she become one of the missionaries over there. Fine. Okay. I hope it's visible to all of you. Is it visible to all of you? Okay. See, at the age of 15, Mother Teresa on a mountain trip had a heavenly voice calling out her to pursue God and serve others. Okay, what happened then when she was 15 years old? She was in suddenly she heard a heavenly voice. Okay, it's not sure that whether it's coming from her inside or from the surroundings or from the sky as it is shown, but some voice came out of her and was telling her to pursue the God and serve others. That means to become one of the missionaries. Mother Teresa turned into a teacher and joined the cloister of Sisters of Loreton, Ireland, to learn English before she went to West Bengal, India. Okay, she turned herself up into a teacher. She became a teacher, and then she joined one of the, you can say, institutes, the cloister of Sisters of Loreton. Okay, fine. I'm just underlining here. Okay, Ireland, to learn English. Okay, before she went to West Bengal, India. She became a nun in Bengal and additionally learned Hindi and Bengali to address the local population in order to serve them. Now, it's okay as that when you have to serve the people, first of all you should know their mother language, because maybe they are not the educated one or they are not the privileged one who knows the other language also. So she learned their Hindi and Bengali in order to serve them. Okay, she been to West Bengal. In 1937 she took the final vows as a nun and assumed the name Teresa. Okay, Teresa is a nun. After becoming a nun, she has adopted. Okay, in 1937, she took the final vows as. Okay, she started teaching. Yes, she started teaching girl students at St. Mary's School, Kolkata. Then she started her first school here was the St. Mary's School, Kolkata. See, these names are really important, girls, and you have to memorize them, and you should know about this also. She started teaching girl students at St. Mary's School, Kolkata. In the meanwhile, she saw the people living in ghettos. Ghettos means the gutters. Okay, gutters basically the literally one, the sewage one. Undesirable conditions, contracting illness without any attention from the administration. Now what happened at that time, there were a lot of disease was there spread, the skin disease is one. Okay, and because of that contagious one, those diseases were very contagious, like we are having the corona this time, contagious one. Okay, so nobody used to treat those the people, those who were suffering with those diseases. So she felt very pity for them. Okay, she saw herself and she saw that how they are like they are ignored by the administration, they are not being treated like a human being also, from the like a mere a human being also, they are not being treated well. So mother took mother Teresa took the worst cases of the road. Okay, what happened, she took the cases of the road, those who were lied on the road, untreated one. Okay, and those who have been left by their family members in a certain conditions, clean them up, deal with them until they recuperated or died. Either they died, either they recuperated, means ठीक हो जाना. Okay, जब तक कि वो पूरी तरह ठीक नहीं हो जाते थे या मर नहीं जाते थे, she used to cure them. She used to apply medicine, give them medicine, apply the everything, and she used to take care of those people, those abandoned people, those who were left by their families. Okay, because of their contagious diseases, she was there for them. Okay, understood that why she was important and why she is known to be mother. Okay, and Teresa, why Teresa? Because her name, she has adopted that name after becoming a nun. Okay, let's move to the next part now. Okay, then what happened? The second call from heaven. Mother Teresa heard the heavenly voice second time that directed her to leave the convent and live among the poor and needy. Otherwise, firstly, what she was doing, she was bringing them to the convent, okay, and she was treating them people. Okay, she's getting them and she was treating them at the convent. Then what happened, then a second, the same voice came the second time to her. Okay, and what that voice, that voice told her, directed her to leave the convent and needy, to live with them. Okay, in their premises or in their locality or somewhere, but to live with them, among them. Okay, she lived like the poor Indian ladies, put up a simple clothes and set up Nirmal Hriday home and hospices for the poor, the needy and the destitutes. Okay, now means the you can say the local hospitals also, kind of hospitals but not exactly that, ashrams की तरह. ठीक है, वो खोला था उन्होंने किसके लिए? For the poor, for the needy and for the destitutes, those who cannot survive themselves. She was there to treat them. okay, along with the people those who were suffering from the diseases. Okay, she was there. बहुत पुअर होते हैं उनके लिए भी मदर टेरेसा का वो जो व्हाट डू यू कॉल दिस home was there, like shelter home was there. And for the others also, those who were feeling hungry, those who were having nothing to eat also, everything was provided in that home, okay, that shelter home. In the service of the most needy, sick, okay, in the service of the most needy, sick, cleaning the sores of the half-dead people, Mother Teresa got recognized by a well-known British writer, Malcolm Muggeridge, who wrote a book, Something Beautiful for God, which highlighted the work of Mother Teresa. Now, this is really important because of this book, she was recognized by all, and she was, though, given the Nobel Prize. Okay, a British, a well-known writer, okay, Malcolm Muggeridge, what happened? Then he saw that there was a lady in a white sari and she was cleaning the sores of the half-dead people, almost dying person. Okay, जिसके सर्वाइवल का या जिंदा रहने का कोई चांस नहीं है. Even she was cleaning the wounds, the sores of that person. Okay, and she was just doing her work. She was not bothered about that someone else will come, or she has not appointed someone else there. Okay, she herself went to that person and was cleaning that person. And moreover, in that shelter home, there were more people who were sick, who were poor, okay, who were the needy one. Okay, so he recognized her, and then she explained about her in a book. Name is written there, Something Beautiful for Gods, which highlighted the work of Mother Teresa. Okay, then Mother Teresa was a genuine saint. She conveyed solace to the penniless and looked after individuals who had no one to take care. Now, the meaning of the solace, you have to tell me here. You have to open your this dictionaries, as I have told you earlier also, that you have to keep your dictionaries with you, and you have to see the meaning of this word solace there. Okay, to the penniless and looked after individuals who had no one to take care. Penniless means the person those who doesn't have single amount to take care of. Okay, she made the poor of the poor to feel that God remembered them all the time through the pious individual. Okay, she made it happen through that lady, through that soul. Okay, it was remembered to God is there. What does it mean? It means that whenever you are in trouble, God Himself maybe does not come there. If you are about to feel someone who was sent by the God. Now, this is the last one. I hope I am audible to all of you. It was all about the chapter. You have to read out the other chapter, okay? Not the other one. I mean to say the complete chapter, including dates, comfort in time of sadness. Okay, okay, okay. You have gone through it. Thank you, Rita. And person is Tejasvi, and has written the name. Okay, so dates means comfort in times of sadness, a person or thing that makes you feel happy when you are sad. Right. Okay, so that was the quality of Mother Teresa here. Okay, you have to read out your chapter because I have only given you the main points, highlighted points. Okay, you can see the zest of this story. Okay, so let's look at the theme here. Okay, let's look at the theme here. One must give love till it hurts. The theme, okay? One must give love till it hurts. You have to just give love to others. We must live to bring comfort to the destitute, care to those who have no one to look after. These are the morals which we are getting from this chapter, okay? That we must live to bring comfort to the destitute, that whenever it is possible for us, if we saw such a person who is in a need, we need to help that person by giving them food to eat, okay, or providing them some work so that they can start living their earnings, okay. We must help the most insignificant and unwanted humans to feel that God remembers them through our useful impact of their life. So we, whenever we get the time, okay, not even the time or something, whenever we get a chance in our life that we can help someone, we should definitely help that person, just to make that person believe in God, okay, because the belief in God is going to give the person that, okay, that hope that everything will be better. So we have to become that hope for, okay, so that the person does not believe, does not lose the faith in God, and to make them remember that God remembers them through our useful impact on their lives. So these are the themes, not the textual, but actually the moral which we get from this chapter. Okay, is everything clear to all of you? Yes or no? Is everything clear to everyone? Yeah. So any queries you want to ask, you can ask me right now. Because the reading portion, you have to do it yourself. This I have told you earlier also. Each and every line is important. In each and every line, you will get the proper date. Okay, that when she died. Okay, when she died and everything, and before her death, what happened. All the dates are given there. That in 1937 and everything, she became a nun. Everything details, it's given in your textbook, as I can read out there, right? Page number 19, 20, and 21. Okay, it's there. Reading portion, you have to do it. And tomorrow we have a class at 10 o'clock. We'll discuss about the important questions of this chapter, and I would like to hear it from you, the story of this thing. Okay, I will try to post the material related to this chapter in your Google Classroom today. And please go through those points and do not forget to read this chapter here. Okay, so any queries, any question you want to ask from me, come on, you can ask. Regarding the syllabus, everything is clear to you now of your second unit test. Okay, Blossoms is coming, not the beauty one. Anything else you want to know, please ask me. Okay, now I guess you can unmute yourself and say, is there anything you want to tell? You want to ask?
No.
No? Okay. Is everything clear to you? What do you have to read? And please look for the pronunciation of that place also, and also about the Agnes full name, okay? You can go through the Google and you can know the clear pronunciation of those words, okay? Fine. So see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Fine. Till then,
Thank
take
you,
care.
ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye,
And please,
ma'am. Ma'am, have a nice day.
thank you, Bache, and same to you also. And have a
Thank
great
you,
day
ma'am.
ahead.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.